Hello and welcome to Erik Penser Bank. My name is Ludvig Svensson and I'm an equity analyst here at the bank. With me today, I have Klaus Sindahl from Hansa Biopharma. Welcome, Klaus.
Hi, hello.
So, Hansa released its Q1 report yesterday, where you presented an encouraging product sales of 24 million SEK in the quarter. What can you tell us about this sales growth?
Yeah, first of all, we had a good start to the year. We had solid progress across our business, but also our R&D activities, which we can come back to. On the commercial side, our launch activities and market access efforts are progressing as planned, and we were actually very pleased to see that the efforts we have invested during the second half, are starting to materialize with 24 million Swedish krona in product sales and a total revenue of 30 million. So very, very promising. However, we would still like to emphasize that we are on the very early stage of our launch curve, so sales can still remain very volatile between quarters and as we build the foundation. As you may know, we are very dependent on pricing and reimbursement agreements to be landed, and with the good progress in France and in Germany, we are cautiously optimistic for the full year.
Great. And how is the work going with pricing and reimbursement? Which additional countries are we expecting to have decisions from in 2022?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year we had agreements with the Netherlands, Sweden. We also got agreements with 2 hospitals in Finland and in Greece. And then here in the first quarter, we got an early access in France and full pricing reimbursement in Germany. So we have beyond this 11 processes, market access procedures ongoing in the rest of Europe, including 3 other main markets, Italy, UK, and Spain, and then some minor markets like Denmark, Belgium, Scotland, Israel, and Czech Republic. So we hope to settle with additional countries during the year, and but it's very difficult to guide exactly when, as these processes can take anywhere between 12 and 18 months. But most of these processes were initiated in the second half of last year, so we should see agreements coming through during the year.
Okay, great, interesting. And if we switch focus and look at the clinical studies you are pursuing now, can you tell us about the progress here and what can we expect next in terms of news flow here?
On the clinical side, we have very good progress with our new US ConfIdeS study, which is essentially the phase 3 study in kidney transplantation to enable a highly sensitized kidney transplants. With now 16 patients out of 64 enrolled, so we are a quarter through enrollment and expect to complete enrollment towards the end of the year as previously guided. Also, it's worth to highlight that the AMR study is close to be completed on the enrollment side, with 28 patients being enrolled currently out of a target of 13 patients, and that would lead to a first data readout in the second half of the year. So of course that's a milestone to look forward to. We have also called out that we had issues in the Guillain-Barré syndrome phase 2 program. So the fact is that we have a number of centers in France, and France has been quite impacted by COVID, which has led to reprioritizations at the clinics and called sort of almost a pause in the enrollment rate. We have, however, done a number of initiatives now to get enrollment back, and including simplifying the protocol. We have also financed staff in the after hours and the weekends so we can take on patients. And finally, we have added a few more sites in Netherlands and UK to complete enrollment then by end of this year, with the first data readout in the first half of next year. But overall, good progress, and also it's worth to highlight that we expect to commence a new phase 3 study in anti-GBM This year, we have just received the acceptance from FDA on an IND application. So that should commence here during the summer, and that will be in 50 patients across the US and Europe.
All right. Thank you, Klaus. Great to hear. And lastly, you recently announced that Idefirix has been granted an SAMR 3 rating in France. Can you explain to us what this actually means and what way this will be beneficial to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was really encouraging to see this. I mean, already we have received early access to the French market. We got that end of the first quarter. And this is another evidence that the interest for our product, Idefirix, is clear there in France. It will certainly ease up the negotiations, but also the process. It will speed up the process for full reimbursement. So it's very encouraging. Actually, only 5-6% of new medicines gets this recognition. So it's clearly an acknowledgement of the product and what we can actually achieve with Idefirix in these difficult to treat patients.
Okay, great. That was everything for me, Klaus. Thank you for attending this interview.
Thank you so much again for your interest. Have a good day and nice weekend.
You too. Thank you.